In politics and in data and in everything that I do, one of my big frustrations is there's never any follow-up. You never get to find out what happens next, what happens later. Well, fortunately, we have the great Brian Entin, who, if you'll recall, during the 2024 campaign, crisscrossed the whole country. He went all over the place and talked to voters about what they wanted and what they wanted to see. Now, as we approach the 100-day mark for Donald Trump's second term, basically a 16th of his second administration completed, Brian has gone back out on the road talking to some of those same folks, talking to new folks, and it's a cool idea because it's service to the audience and it's scratching the itch that I have for somebody to finally follow up. So thanks for following up, Brian.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Yeah, and it's fun too, by the way. I mean, it's cool getting out on the road, and we upgraded since last time. Before the election, Chris, you remember we were Ford Expedition. We literally drove across the whole country in a Ford Expedition. This time, NewsNation got us an RV, which is much, much more comfortable. It's kind of one of the smaller ones, but I'll show you. It's pretty cool. I mean, there's like a kitchen. There's a little like bed and bathroom in the back. We got our producer Henry driving. There's a little area to hang out up here, and then this table. Yeah, he said. Chris says hi, Henry. He says he's got a lot of driving to do. We're on I-60 now. We were just in Nashville. We're headed towards Louisville, and we're actually pulling people inside the RV, which is cool. Sitting at the table here and asking them what they think about Trump's first 100 days.
Okay, so the idea here basically is the report card that matters is from the people, not we in the punditocracy here in Washington, D.C. What's the vibe that you're just getting underway, but what's the vibe?
Yeah, we've been out and about for the last couple of weeks. You mentioned we did this series before the election where we talked to people, and we went and tried to revisit a lot of those people, and everyone was willing to talk to us again. And that was perhaps the most interesting to sort of see how people's opinions have changed and shifted. We had this woman on your show on the Hill Sunday, Misty. She is a woman I've gotten to know. We first met in Michigan. She lives outside Detroit. She works at the Ford plant there, building Broncos. She's worked there for 30 years, actually 26 years building Fords. So super fascinating. She was a lifelong Democrat, and she really loved and loves President Trump. And her family loves President Trump, so she switched to vote for President Trump. She was a diehard Trump supporter. I actually saw her out at the inauguration. She drove her F-150 all the way to D.C. from Michigan to be there at the inauguration, and we met up. And so I went back and visited with her again a couple of days ago at her house in Michigan. And it was interesting. She still loves President Trump. She doesn't regret her vote or anything, but there were some concerns she had. Obviously, tariffs. She said she feels like her hours have been cut a little at the Ford plant, and there's sort of a vibe that they may not get as much overtime, and that's a concern for her because of the tariffs, she thinks. And also interesting, I wasn't expecting this, the immigration issue has bothered her in some ways. She's happy to see what's happened at the border and to see the criminals getting deported, but there was actually a man in her town where she lives who she knew, who her kids knew, who has a business in town, who sort of everyone knows, who she says got deported and taken by ICE. She actually got emotional crying about it when we did the interview. And again, she says she still loves Trump, happy with her vote, but that was something that clearly she said she's not happy about, Chris.
Brian, it was so on the nose that I thought, was this a plant? It was the most amazing, it was so revealing, because when you listen to this woman who gets choked up talking about Donald Trump's victory, then getting choked up talking about the implications of some of the policies. And I know this as a person who's done focus groups and done that stuff. Finding people who will be transparent with you and who will really talk to you is hard. What's for you the key for connecting with folks and maintaining a good relationship with people? Because I don't know whether you know this, our business is not the most popular in the nation.
Yeah, I mean, I've stayed in touch with Misty, and we like text back and forth ever since we first met before the election. And I think there's like a trust level there. And she's just an awesome lady. Like, I happen to really like her. Like, the fact that she's been building Fords for 26 years is just cool. So we've stayed in touch, and that was totally unplanned, and people can go back and watch the video. It's on YouTube, on the Hill YouTube, or on NewsNation YouTube. I was honestly expecting her to just say that she loves everything still.
Totally.
About President Trump. I didn't think she was going to waver at all, because she was so gung-ho at the inauguration. And it was totally unexpected. I didn't think she was going to cry. And I think it, like you said, it's rare to get that glimpse, especially when people know the cameras are rolling. She kind of forgot, I think, that the camera was there, and we got a very real view. And also, it's people, she supports the policies, but when something impacted her on a personal level with this man that she knew and that her kids knew, that bothered her. Her kids were close to this man that got deported. We saw sort of another side, I think, that, that she was bothered.
Yeah, something we talk about here in Washington all the time. It's a lot easier to be the party out of power than the party in power. Because when you're out of power, all you have to do is complain about how things are. When you get in and you have to govern, it gets hard because you have to make choices and you're going to make people unhappy. Okay, tell us about the road from here. Where do you go from here?
Yeah, and just one other thing. I also think it's complicated when you talk to real people. Like, I think with the polls and a lot of the stuff out at DC, it's like, they think that everyone's one way or the other, like they've stopped supporting Trump and it's all changed. And like with the people that I've spoken to, it's a little more complicated than that. They haven't totally stopped supporting Trump. They still like him, they really like him. But it's like there's just little nuances, little things that are bothering them that are bubbling up almost like slowly, it feels like. And they still like him, but it's interesting. In terms of where we go from here, we're headed up to Louisville. We're going to go to Cincinnati. We're going through Iowa. I'm excited. I want to go to the world's biggest truck stop. I've always wanted to go there in Iowa. And the thing we want to do is just, we've got a big NewsNation sign outside the RV. We want to invite people in to talk to us. And there's stories that we've already shot to since we've been on the road for the last week that we're going to have this week on the Hill. We went to a barbershop. This was fascinating, Chris. We went to a barbershop in Philly, right in inner city Philly. We had gone to the same barbershop before the election, an African-American barbershop. We spent the day there, and that one's actually going to air on Monday. And it's interesting, all of these, most of these black barbers and customers are very, very pro-President Trump. And it's something that a lot of people would expect right in inner city Philadelphia, and they explained to us why. And then again, issues that they do have, there's some things that they don't like about the first 100 days, which they elaborate on too.
Okay, very importantly, what is the thing that you're going to eat that is that you are most looking forward to on this trip? What is the local food that, and because look, this isn't just me, a fat guy. This is, I know that when you're planning a road trip, you think, oh, we got to make sure we go to XYZ because that's where we're going to get the thing. So what's the thing that is the secret motivation for the itinerary?
I mean, I definitely am a pizza guy. We had a lot of pizza in New Jersey. We did a focus group there with women, New Jersey women, which you'll see. I want to have more pizza in Michigan, so I'm all about the pizza. Ice cream. I mean, I like all the stuff on the side of the highway, like kind of I don't know, I fall for it. Like Dairy Queen we'll probably stop at, Chick-fil-A, all those like highway spots, because we've got to keep it on the road. I mean, we've got a lot of spots that we want to hit.
You gotta go.
You got recommendations? You gotta get Ohio, Indiana.
Well, obviously you're gonna go get the chili in Cincinnati, but when you get to Iowa, you gotta get the pork loin sandwich. You gotta get the pork tenderloin sandwich. It's flat, it's huge, it's crispy, it's delicious. It's gonna be great. And plus, it's good content because it's way too big for the bun. Henry. Yeah, it's way too big for the bun, so that's gonna be good for you.
Pork loin sandwich we need to get, okay? We're on it.
I trust that guy more than I do you, that he's going to get you to the right sandwich.
Yeah,
I feel confident. I feel confident. And Brian, I feel confident that you're going to stay in touch with the voters. I really appreciate you doing this and taking this time and risking motion sickness to talk to us. Stay safe. Have a great trip.
Thanks, Chris. See ya.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.